Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I'd like to ask the question, should you change your name when talking to other cultures? Alright, so today I want to get your guys' opinion about something, and I'm a bit nervous because this might be a bit culturally sensitive. So let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. So we work with lots of different software developers. We work with freelancers sometimes. We'll work with software development companies. So we have a company we work with in Vietnam. We have a couple companies we work with in India. We got the developers in the Philippines, and we're trying to grow that Rolodex so we can serve more clients. So I get contacted by companies all the time, and they'll send an email or they'll call up. Please don't call up, right? And so I'll have a chat with them. And I've been talking to one company for the last week or so, and they keep calling, and I keep saying, no, I'm not really interested. I just didn't get a good vibe from them. But their website looked good and everything like that. But here's the thing that bothered me, and I don't know if this should have bothered me or not. The guy, he was an Indian guy. He was in India, but he was introducing himself as a very English name, like something like Robert Johnson. Like if I was going to think of a very English name, the kind of name I would think up. Yeah, this is Robert Johnson. And I knew that wasn't his real name, or I suspected it wasn't his real name, I guess you could say. I didn't know for certain, but I kind of suspected that he was using a different name than his own name. And it bothered me because I thought we were starting off on a lie, and I didn't really want to hear that. I thought, can he just use his real name when he talks to me? So finally today, he was calling me again, and I just been like, just shrugging him off. I didn't want to say the real reason because it seems petty. It seems petty to say that, really. Like you're not using your real name, and that bothers me because I'm using my real name, right? So I said, okay, so here's the thing that's bothering me. You say your name is Robert Johnson, but is that your real name? And he said, no, that's not my real name. That's my name I use when I call American or English companies because they're more accepting of that. Right? And I said, okay, well, what's your real name? And he said his real name was Hardik. And I said, well, that's fine. Can I just call you that? Right? We work with people all over the world. The internet has brought down the barriers everywhere that we're used to lots of different names, and there's very common names out there. Right? So once we got over that, we were able to discuss the things I didn't want to discuss before, like the different things their company can help us with and all that kind of stuff. But it did bother me up to then. And then I started thinking about it. Why did it bother me? I think because it was maybe under the assumption that I would be racist, or enough people are racist that that's a problem, so that he had to change his name, all that kind of stuff. So what I want to ask your guys' opinion about is, first of all, two different groups of people. First of all, if you were to get that call from somebody and they were saying, they were obviously using not their real name, and this happens all the time. I mean, people in China use their English name, or people in Vietnam might, or people in India. But I think we're getting to the point now where we're used to all those different cultures and things, right? So would it bother you if somebody called you up and they were using a false name when they were speaking to you? And also, if I could use a false name as a software developer, because my surname was always difficult to pronounce, I would love to use that. Actually, I'd be like, yeah, my birth certificate says Eric Wroolie, but the other developers call me Jake the Badass Steele, or something really cool like that. So would it bother you if somebody called you up in that kind of situation the way that it bothered me? The second question I'd like to ask is, for those of you guys who are developers in India or China or Vietnam or Korea or wherever, do you find yourself, when you email an American or an English company, do you feel that you have to change your name because you'll be treated differently? Or do you think it was just because he was a salesman, some business development manager, that's the reason he did that? Because I mean, most people I talk to don't. They're just, what's your name? My name is Hardik. Okay, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you. All that kind of stuff. So let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, should it have bothered me? Is it something I should just accept, or is it something that is it something that as a world, as a culture, we just have to get used? We have to get used to the fact that we're going to talk to people from all over the world, and they shouldn't have to change their names in order to talk to us. So anyway, that is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.